Ready.
Oh, that's a good thing. Hey, guys, how you doing this evening? Vince Russo, of course, is with us, as well as Dutch Mantell. Dutch, he's been having some issues trying to get on the computer itself today. So good to see you guys with us again.
Oh, my God. Hell, I wanted to take a gun and shoot this computer. Oh, my God. It's too much, man. I mean, to expect me to be a computer literate, I mean, I just never could do it.
Yeah, Dutch called me earlier this evening, Vince, and he was having some issues getting on, and I was like, I'm not the guy.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Mac, you have to start this show before Dutch combs the mustache. And I'll tell you why. Because Dutch combing his mustache is far and away going to be the best thing on this show.
Oh yeah,
I'll tell you that right now, bro. I got to tell you, I'm going to warn you two gentlemen right now. I am in a foul mood. I am so tired of my time being wasted every single time I watch one of these nothing shows. I am sick and freaking tired of it. I swear to God, man. I'm counting down the day. January 24th, I will never, ever watch another WWE show as long as I live. I can't get there freaking quick enough.
Look here, you and I must have watched two completely different shows. I thought tonight's show was fantastic. One of the best I've ever seen.
Mac, you're not Mac. I know you better than that. Okay, stop.
Yeah, I'm not.
I am just Dutch will agree with me. I am just sick and tired of everything being a wrestling match. Can you not give me one story? Can I not get one story? I swear to God, we got to start asking ourselves this question now. Does TKO not know that wrestling is fake? Because like they're treating they're predetermined, Dutch. They're treating this like it's freaking MMA. They're treating these fights like they're real. There's no story, there's no character, and nobody gives a shit.
I really couldn't agree more, but go ahead. Go ahead, Dutch.
I give a shit. But I can't tell you what happened. Oh yeah, my internet went out about.
Good for you're lucky, Dutch.
About an hour and a half. You know, right in the middle. It went out for about.
You're
40
lucky.
minutes.
You are lucky, Dutch.
By the way, welcome to everybody into the room here. Let everybody know that we are live right now on Wrestle Binge with Sports Kita. We got about 100 of you in here right now, which is usually just the low number we hit each time. We're looking to drive that number way up there. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you have to do is get a super chat. And we have several of the super chats already coming in. We'll get to those in just a minute. But I do want to ask both of you one question before we get into tonight's show. Vince, I know you're already crazy about what you saw tonight, but did you hear about the $25,000 lunch with John Cena?
I heard about
it. Go ahead, Vince.
I just, bro, people, Dutch will agree with this because Dutch worked for the man. I worked for the man. Bro, this company, since TKO, Endeavor, Ari Emanuel, whoever took over, are the greediest bastards in the world. And I cannot tell you, bro, how many friends I have that are fathers whose kids love their wrestling and say, Vince, I can't afford to bring them to a WWE event anymore. They've priced us out. I can't afford to go anymore. And what I was going to say, you know, with me and Dutch, bro, I'm telling you, Mac, Vince cared about the fan base. And Vince really did care about those families. And Vince did not gouge you the way that they are gouging. Bro, I never saw anything like this in my life. This is the greediest company I think I've ever seen. When dads can't afford to take their kids, Mac, something's freaking wrong.
That is the problem I have with it too, Dutch. You're starting to take the ticket prices and all these events out of the range of the average wrestling fan. It can't be a good thing. I mean, I understand making money. Trust me, making money is the bottom line. You got stockholders you got to answer to. You got to make them money. but do you have to do it off the backs of the fans to the point where the fans can't even come and see it live anymore?
Well, when I saw the price of the Hall of Fame event,
Oh yeah, that's
row,
OH and
it's $10,000 or $12,000, right?
Yeah, right near 10,000.
And then they dropped that prices because I guess they weren't just running out the door on their own. They said, "Oh, let's drop the prices." But I'm thinking, it's on TV anyway, so why would you want to be there? You see what I mean? I love wrestling, but I never had that love to where I could part with my hard-earned money, $10,000 of it, just to go and sit there and watch them talk.
Even if I had the money to spend, Dutch, I wouldn't spend it.
Oh, yeah. So
anyway, that's just a waste of money. Vince, I know you're the same way because you and I always joke about the fact I'm kind of cheap, and you're not going to get 10 grand out of me just to go watch a wrestling show. It ain't happening.
Mac, I've got to tell you, man, bands in music, they've been doing meet and greets before the show for years. Like Kiss has always done this. Billy Corgan does it. They've been doing this for years. Bro, they don't charge a fraction of the money and I'm talking top music stars like a Pink or an Avril Lavigne. I mean, I'm talking big stars. They don't charge a fraction of what they're charging for these WWE meet and greets.
No, they're not. And it's a shame to see it because, I've heard fans for the last year really talking about the ticket prices, and I really wasn't paying much attention to it until I started seeing some of the actual literature that was going out on how much things were. It's just absolutely astronomical. I guess we do have super chats coming in. We've got a lot of them already. Cliffside with a $9.99 donation. Do you think the WWE will move Raw off of Monday nights to avoid the NFL? Nick Khan was asked about it on a recent episode of the Pat McAfee show and was non-committal to keeping it on Mondays. Dutch, what do you think?
Not no, but hell no. I think WWE, I don't think that the NFL is as over as WWE right now. And I don't think they're not beating them down, but I don't think they're not going to dodge the NFL. Let me say that.
Vince, what do you
they'll
think?
Go head up with them, and they'll do good. They'll do 2 million people every time, even with the NFL on.
Yeah,
because the NFL, they've already went through their hot period, and they came back. Now they settled down. They are where they are. No, I don't think they're going to move Raw.
I'd be surprised to see them do that as well. Vince, do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, it's a cornerstone of Monday night for God knows how many years now. I can't see that happening. I mean, if that was going to happen, it would have happened a long time ago. I just don't see that happening.
Hey, Vince, did you guys notice?
Yeah, go ahead.
Those first couple of matches, they had some big bloopers in there.
Yes.
Who was in that first match? I forgot now, but they looked like they'd never even seen each other before.
I'm trying to say who was in that first.
That was
Amy and Breeze.
Your favorite Big Jim and Nakamura and Drew.
Yep.
It was just, not just, I'm not going to just pick out one match, but it was like.
Well, they really didn't give you much on this show at all. And again, Vince, this goes back to what we talked about last week. These poor fans who finally got to come see a show and they got to see this show. Can you imagine how many people are going, man, I wasted money for this? Really?
Yeah, I got to tell you though, Mac, here's the thing, bro. And there's a history of this, and Dutch was there. Mac, when it's an overseas show, it's never going to be a good show because they already know the crowd's going to be hot.
Oh yeah, they were hot.
Yeah, that's how they're writing the show. It's going to be a hot crowd. It doesn't matter what we put out there. They're going to be hot for whatever we put out there. And that's why little to no thought is put into the show. But here's the problem, Mac. You got people in the U.S. watching this show on television, and I promise you they're freaking changing the channel.
And more importantly, you're coming up on WrestleMania.
Right.
You've got to do something. I've said this over and over again. And last year, I'll tell you, I loved the build up to WrestleMania. I enjoyed that. This year, there has been absolutely nothing that excites me. In fact, I encourage you, if you're watching right now or listening to us, leave your comments in the section. What 3 matches have you excited about WrestleMania? And I bet you can't think of it off the top of your head, because I damn sure can. Dutch, can you?
About 1, maybe 2. I'm interested in the girls' match, and I'm interested in Cody and what he's going to do.
And that's 2 matches for 2 nights of WrestleMania, a card that should be stacked. And I can't think of any matches, and you can mention 2. Vince, you probably can only think of a couple yourself.
Yeah, I'm curious, Dutch. Which girls' match are you interested in? Tiffany and Charlotte.
I'm interested in that one, and Nia Jax, who's she with?
I don't.
Nia Jax and not Jax.
Nia Jax isn't even on the card.
No. It's
she's not even on the card.
No, I don't think so.
I'm getting excited about something they're not even going to have.
See, here's the problem. This is a perfect example of the problem.
I don't know who the other champion is. Is it Bianca? No, she's a tag champion.
Hell, I don't know now.
I don't either. Right now, my mind's not hitting there. And that's an issue. That's an issue. I mean, come on now. Let's see. Anonymous with $4.99 donation. Every week, there's a pull-apart brawl.
Absolutely.
Yes, God. And Cody can't even attempt to fight Cena or attempt to fight Travis Scott or The Rock. I don't get this at all. He's repeating the same thing that I feel. Honest to God, I watched Cena come out the other night. He spoke for the first time. And I don't know if I'm just absolutely out of my freaking mind, but I seem to be the only person who wasn't impressed by the damn promo. It was a decent promo, but the problem was there was no meat there, really, because you didn't tell us the story. Why did you turn? What was The Rock having to do with it? The Rock now seems like he's completely just vanished from the whole story. Vince, am I crazy?
Mac, here's what happened. This is exactly what happened from a writer's point of view. Okay, they pull this out their ass at the last minute when they realized they didn't have a main event. So the problem, Mac, was you didn't have months and months and months of setting this up. So they pull it out of the ass. They do the swerve at the Elimination Chamber. Now they have to attempt to make sense out of something that makes no sense. And John Cena, Dutch knows this, man. We talk about this all the time. Making chicken salad out of chicken shit. And Cena tried his best. I mean, Cena's a master. And Cena really tried his best. At the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense. You need that story, Mac, 3 months prior. Yeah. So it makes sense. You can't just pull it out your ass and then expect to make sense out of it. It doesn't make any sense. That's the issue.
Dutch, what did you think about that promo?
I like part of it. I like he said it's a toxic environment and he blamed the fans. But I don't think they want him to be a heel. And they're fighting him on that. But here you got him, you got Cena in the ring talking on his own. The Rock's not even around. Travis Scott's not even around. Nobody's around him. And then you have Rock coming in on his own later on or somewhere else. But they're not really, to me, putting their best foot forward for WrestleMania. They're just not doing it.
No, I agree. And Vince, my biggest issue, too, was the fact that when you've got Cody, the last vision I remember seeing Cody when it came to having The Rock and John Cena in the ring, he was having his ass handed to him. He was getting nut shots. He's getting slammed in the forehead with his Rolex watch. And he comes back going, I don't want to meet you in the ring if you're going to be this John Cena.
Mac,
That's what we get.
I'm always going to go back to this. WWAD. What would Austin do? Can you imagine if Austin would have got kicked straight in the balls and then 3 guys would have busted him open, wiped his belt, wiped his blood on the belt, crack him across, Could you imagine what that dude would have done on the next show? Cody Rhodes gets kicked in the balls. He gets the shit kicked out of him. He gets opened up, and his comeback is, "You're a whiny bitch."
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, seriously? Really?
Let's see, anonymous with a $4.99 donation. Could you imagine it? After every playoff game, Tom Brady got up on the bench and pointed at a championship banner like how they point at the Mania sign. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we got some comedians in here. Who else we got here? We got boy,
now
coming in.
the one guy brought it up here. The pull aparts, they get very, very tiresome.
Yes, and they do the same thing, Dutch.
Anything. You tell me 12 guys or 14 guys in a ring and they can't hold 2 guys apart. It's like this. They get in there and they're almost afraid to touch them. They just say, "No, get back, get back."
And Vince, you and I talk about this all the time. The poor guys, they never are successful when they go out there. It's the same formula, like you said. Every week they get pulled apart, then they break loose and they get each other again. They pull them apart, they break loose and do it again.
It was the same formula. It was Seth Rollins dressing like a girl and punching like a girl. How this guy doesn't know how to punch? I am not a wrestler. I can throw a better punch than Seth Rollins. When you are in there with CM Punk and Roman Reigns, you can't be punching them like you're a freaking girl. Those punches look horrible. Then, and Dutch will appreciate this, Mac, both guys get hit with the ring steps, and 3 seconds later, they're back up.
Yeah.
So, obviously nothing can hurt these guys. Nothing.
No. Hap Connell with a $1.90.
You know what I found really tiresome was the intros of these guys tonight. It took them forever. And I was saying, "Come on, guys."
Yeah, when I heard Roman Reigns say, "Yeah, I got 15 minutes here," I was like, "I hope so," because they used every bit of that just playing the entrance music for everybody coming out.
The star of tonight was the crowd.
Isn't that a good thing, though, Vince? Is it good for the?
Could you imagine this show, Vince, if they'd have had it somewhere in the States? The crowd would they'd have farted all on all that crowd.
Yeah. I say this all the time, Mac. I say this all the time. Here's the problem. And Dutch, I keep saying Dutch knows this because Dutch knows more than anybody. Dutch, what
I do?
Yes, Dutch, what are you taught the very first day? What are you taught the very first day, Dutch? You're not playing for the house. You're playing for the millions. Dutch, you're taught that in every territory from freaking Memphis to Florida to Vern Gagne. That you're taught that on day one. You're playing to the millions of people at home, not the house. They play to the house now. And here's what I say all the time, Mac. If you're there, it's great. It's a great experience. And if you're there, you're having the time of your life. You're getting drunk with your friends. You're singing along. But, bro, when you're watching this stuff on TV, it is horrible television. Like Dutch said, bro, you're watching every single person. It's 5 minutes to get to the ring. It's another 3 minutes to sing the song. This is terrible television. If you're there live, great. If you're watching it on TV, bro, it's freaking awful.
And if you don't believe Vince, look, Hap Connell saying the same thing. He's saying, "I'm sick of the wrestlers singing the theme song and the audience as well." And my point a minute ago was really, do you want the audience to take control of a show like that, Vince? I enjoy the enthusiasm of the audience, but it needs to be in the background, not the lead of the show, right?
I'm going to go to Dutch again because Dutch is the master. Go ahead, Dutch.
I don't know why somebody in the back say, "Hey, guys, get to the ring." Because you're boring the crap out of the people. They've heard you song 1,000,000 times. They don't want to go and see you, pantomime the song. Get in there, and if you're so mad at each other, you're going to stand there and sing a song? I mean, you can put up with so much make-believe, but after a while, do something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make the people think at least you're a little bit pissed off. And nobody can hurt nobody. And then he threw the ring steps, and they just blew that off like that was nothing. And then we just keep going.
So somebody asked me this on my show today, Mac, and it's good to put this out there. You know, and Dutch too. Dutch has written a million shows. I've written a million shows. Mac, you format, you know, on the format of the show, music and entrance. There's time for that. And Mac, the usual when we were writing the show, music and entrance was a minute. 1 minute. And Max, sometimes it was 30 seconds. And
Yep.
if the show was running long, that minute is now 30 seconds. But it was a minute. And bro, let me tell you, if you were not to that ring in a minute, Vince is going ballistic on the freaking headsets.
Well, there was a reason for that, Vince. You were telling stories back then. So you didn't have to fill time with, 3 and 4 minute introductions of people coming out with their music and stuff, because you had more than that to offer. That's the problem today. It's all just flash in the pan, kind of smoke and mirrors, enjoy this show, and that's all we care about. It's the here, the now, this match, and that's it. And storylines and long-term storytelling has disappeared.
Well, judging from what I saw tonight, they have rounded off the corner, did well with it, but now they're coasting to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's almost like, guys, we've shot everything. All we got to do, and I'm sure this is their mindset. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna coast to WrestleMania. Not gonna change anything because everything is set. All we got to do is just maintain it. But to me tonight, they even lost that battle. I think that a lot of people just turned it off before it was over. First of all, it's 3 hours. Who can sit there and watch 3 hours?
And it was pre-recorded. It was recorded earlier this afternoon, so everybody could read the spoilers from earlier, and figure out who won and if they wanted to watch the show. And quite honestly, Vince, like you said last week, when you read the spoilers, you knew you really didn't want to watch the show.
And Mac, here's another thing, man. Here's another thing. Mac, they were up against March Madness tonight. Mac, when we knew we were up against, a big game or a big sporting event, we went balls to the wall because we knew people were going to watch the NCAA tonight. We were going to have to do everything we possibly could to get that viewer. So on a night when they know it's March Madness, they're delivering a show like this.
Yeah, not a good idea. And I've got another question, too, I'll get to in a minute. Although I do want to go back here. What's the final boss engaged saying Russo's dream is cable failing with Raw SmackDown on. I'm not sure if I understand that, final boss. Let's see. The next thing we got here from Anonymous 499. I went to the store and saw a Rock on the back of a milk carton. Have we been Men in Black? Where's the Rock? We haven't seen or heard from him since EC, Elimination Chamber.
That's what I'm
a mistake. Yeah.
Now the Rock, he would have completely saved that show tonight. All he's got to do is walk out there, just do a little bit, and the people would just go wild. Mm-hmm. But the way it was, I think. What is the big Samoan's name? Joseph Fatu?
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. I think they're gonna try to turn him or something.
Because we were talking about that last week.
Like he was telling them no to get back. Yeah. But I think when he went in there with Strowman, I think that hurt Fatu. If you're gonna have a killer, he's got to be a killer every week. He can't be a killer one week and then next week he's getting bounced around all over the ring.
That's that 50-50 booking we talk about all the time. Victor Valente, we thanks for the donation, even though you don't have a question there, so we'll just wave at you because you're waving at us with that fish right now. Let's see. With WrestleMania coming up, how many appearances should The Rock make on Raw and SmackDown? He should have already been there as far as I'm concerned. Vince, what do you think?
Well, obviously, if this is anybody else, it should be every week. But at least one appearance a week. At least one a week on one of the shows.
And like you say, if nothing else, use the freaking telephone. Record something. It's that damn simple.
No kidding. They have a thing called cameras. I think we've all heard of it.
Yep.
Why can't he? They got it all planned out. He can send one in, and it'd be just as good. At least give them something. It's like if you just watched this show tonight and didn't know what they've done, Did they even mention him tonight?
I don't know that they did. They damn sure didn't bring it up in the promo between Cody and John Cena. His name never came up during that entire thing, which I thought was odd. And we talk about things that you can do to make things stand out. Having a video shot wherever they may be, out in some public place somewhere on, a movie set or whatever, with that background, that gives you a different look and feel as the show is going on. You mention this all the time, Vince. You need something that's different and fresh. And here you are, you're in Bologna, Italy, and you can't go out and film things in Italy with these people.
Hey Mac, if Dutch wasn't here, you and I would have just broken into my Bologna. my. I'm going to say this, Mac. I am going to say this, and people may think I'm crazy, whatever. Mac, there's got to be more going on than meets the eye, because this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for Cena not to bring him up in the promo. It doesn't make any sense not for Rock to send a video, and it doesn't make any sense. So I'm just assuming something is going on politically or backstage, because there's no rhyme or reason that Cena does not mention The Rock. That, like Dutch said, it's not a video on his phone. Bro, there's got to be a good reason for that. There has to be.
Dutch, your thoughts?
I mean, you wouldn't do that knowingly. You
Right.
wouldn't say, well, hell, they're going to do the show. I'm not sending anything in. And he's the main part of the angle.
Yep. Right.
Yep.
Rock is. So, and he's not saying anything about it. So,
And people keep telling me, well, give it time. Give it time. It only takes a little bit more time. How much more time do you need? My God, WrestleMania is just around the corner.
How many weeks is it away? 3 weeks?
I think it's only 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe at the most.
Well, he's going to have to get on the ball. He's going to have to.
He's going to have to do something, because he needs to put himself within this WrestleMania program. Jing Jong, $2 donation. Why isn't Russo ever satisfied?
Well,
Be positive for once.
This guy spent so much money today trying to freaking insult me, or whatever Jing Jong is trying to freaking do. Bro, satisfied over what? Like, so what, bro? I'm satisfied it was a shitty show. I'm just satisfied. I just sat here on a Friday night and wasted 3 hours. Mac, are you satisfied?
Oh, I'm completely so satisfied.
Are you satisfied, Dutch?
Oh, man.
I couldn't take any more if they tried. I would have to turn it off. It was so good.
Hey, to me, to watch a wrestling show for 2 hours, to me was a chore. To watch 3 hours and just watch guys coming down the aisle. Yep. I know who they are. I know the song. The crowd knows the song. It's like watching them pantomime their own song on the way to the ring. Every one of them. That had to take 10 minutes.
Yep.
Didn't it?
Yep.
And you're sitting there saying, and everybody was saying, come on, get in the ring. Let's do something.
Hey, even when
did the show go off?
Was doing his promo, they kept telling him to shut the F up. During this promo, I think they actually meant that. I don't think they were trying to be funny, because that promo was way too long, I thought, for John Cena. It could have been shorter and maybe more impactful. But I think the audience actually got tired of listening to him and said, shut the fuck up. They got tired of it, just like they did tonight, basically saying, hey, enough's enough. Cliffside 199. What is your favorite WrestleMania build-up ever? Dutch, what about you?
Well, hell, I can't even remember what the card is for this one. Don't ask me in the past. I don't know. Well, it had to be one of Austin's. I mean, Austin was just magic anyway.
Yeah.
But see, Austin was different than these guys here, because he would take charge of his own stuff. Yeah. He took pride in what he did. And I'm not saying these guys are not taking pride in what they're doing. I don't know, but taking so long. I mean, Austin would go down there, and I mean, when he came in, you knew he was in the building.
Yeah.
Now, you may have known these guys were in the building tonight, but Austin going to the ring, you knew you was going to see something.
Yeah,
correct.
And how many times can you remember Austin going to the ring and not doing nothing before that match was over? Like you
True.
go to shake somebody's hand, just kick them in the nuts and give them their deal. Boom, down he goes.
He would just tell him.
You expected that of him, and that's what kept him over and kept him going. But anything with Austin, I think in a WrestleMania, I think he'd probably be one of my favorites.
What about you, Vince? What's one of your favorite WrestleMania build-ups?
I would have to say it would have to be Andre and Hulk, because you didn't know what they were going to do. You just didn't know what the outcome was going to be. You didn't know, and it was so simple, man. It was ripping the chain off his neck. I mean, that was a moment that will never, ever, ever be forgotten.
When you say that, and I'm not trying to piggyback saying, oh yeah, that's mine too. But when you said that, I was like, yeah, that probably is one of the ones I remember the most, because it was one of the first ones I recall. Yeah. And watching that moment of him pick up Andre was something else. And the storyline leading up to it was really good.
Yeah.
BroDown tonight is just whatever your questions are. Young and Reckless, $1.99. They just removed Rhea from event match at WrestleMania 41. Is that true? Did I miss something? Is she now removed from WrestleMania, Vince?
I don't know. I'm seeing that.
I don't know either. That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, I have not heard of that.
And who sent that in?
Let's see. That came from Young Reckless.
Oh, okay.
And our next one is Ramo Smith, $2. Love you, Vince and Dutch. God bless.
Oh, thank you. Very nice.
I guess I can just go to hell. Victor Valente, $5. Sorry about that. Vince, miss you on Rocky Mountain. A couple guys there got a future. Good storyline. Rocky Mountain High. You were doing some work with them at one time, I believe, right?
Yes, I was. I go in and out of Rocky Mountain Pro. Yeah.
Let's see. If you want to get your questions in here with us, all you have to do is buy a super chat, and you can do that by just doing what you got to do to buy one. And then get in here, and we'll answer your questions. We got just about 300 in here right now. CPB station, $2. Jing Jong needs to take a lariat from Stan Hansen.
Boy, that'd be the last one he took.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. There were two lariats that I've always liked: Stan Hansen and JBL. Both have lariats that are very believable.
Hey, I took that lariat from JBL.
How was it?
Really?
No,
wow.
He liked me.
Yeah.
So he didn't kill me. But hey, brother, listen. If I know they're coming, I know I'm going. So as soon as he hit the ropes, I'm falling down. So he would just have to run over me.
All right.
You didn't get me. You didn't get me.
Vince, tell me some things. We've bounced around a lot of questions here. So tell me some things about SmackDown tonight that you want to push or talk about that was really getting on your nerves, because obviously you didn't like any of the show at all. I thought the Piper Niven match was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, two things. It's funny that you mentioned that, and I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna tip my hat again to Dutch and freaking Awesome Kong. I'm just gonna tip my hat to him. You've got Piper Niven and you've got Jade Cargill. So Piper Niven needs help from two other people to beat a Vega who weighs about 95 pounds.
If she's wet, yeah.
Yeah, she weighs about, and Piper Niven needs help from two other girls to beat a 95. Then you have Jade Cargill. Bro, this was her first match. I think they said this was her first match since August.
Probably so. It's been a while, yeah.
And they're beating her in her first match.
Yep. Well, you brought up Jade Cargill. What did you guys think about the promo she had with Kathy Kelly in the back? That quick promo she cut about before she went out for her match. I thought it was pretty bad.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah,
that'd be an upgrade.
Yeah. It was very high schoolish, which we talk about all the time, Vince.
Yeah, and Mac, you know what else they did tonight? I don't know if you noticed this because it was so quick. Mac. What were the Motor City Machine Gun? What were their vignettes before they came? Remember the cop lights?
Oh, yeah,
yeah. And remember on this very show, we said, how were cop lights going to get somebody over?
Yep.
Bro, there were two vignettes on this show
Yeah.
That do nothing for the person coming in. One of them, it was the number 4. So I'm assuming the Fantastic Four's coming in. The Thing and Sue Richards and the Human Torch. I'm assuming the bro, the number, how is that? You're showing me the number 4. How is that supposed to get this guy over? Then they had the other guy doing this. He's giving me the triangle. Oh, so Jay-Z is coming into the WWE. Why are they wasting money on these vignettes that are not telling us anything about the talent coming in?
Dutch, what do you think?
Oh, I'm giving myself a headache. Dutch, you got to go. I'm giving myself a headache, Dutch.
Now, I know they're not going to have a blowaway show every week. I know that. But when you got to sit down and try to decipher to yourself what all this means, I mean, they should tell me. I don't need to sit down and figure it out. Slap me in the face with it.
Yep.
I mean, not too hard, but at least, saying, hey, this is what. Give me something interesting I can look forward to, and then we can go. Now I can watch the build.
Yep.
I say, oh, that fits, and that's good. No, this is good. Fans sit back and said, man, that fit right in. They may not exactly say that to themselves, but thinking back, you said, oh, boy, they did that good. They built right up to it. Boom. And that's the way you do wrestling. You build up to it, and then you blow it off, or you work an angle out of it, and you keep it going.
Let me ask you.
I don't want to sit there and try to explain it to myself because I can't do it. I get more confused.
Let me ask you this, Vince. There was a split screen interview style segment with Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I got a note right here about that. Believe it or not, Mac, I take notes during this show. And here's the angle. Charlotte Flair said, I felt sorry for you. Okay, so that's the angle going into the match. This is what I'm talking about, man. There are no angles. I felt sorry for you. It's so vanilla and been said a billion times before. How can we just come up with nothing more than that?
Dutch, would that have been something you would have put on TV?
Well, I may have put it on TV, but they'd had different verbiage for it. I would tell you that. That little Tiffany looks scared.
She does. She sounds like a little girl.
And I mean, Charlotte Flair ate her alive.
Yeah.
And it looked like Tiffany got flustered and didn't have anything to say. And Charlotte sat over there and was sort of trying to laugh. I don't feel sorry for either one of them. I think they're both half heels.
I felt the same way. When I saw Tiffany responding to Charlotte, Vince, I really thought she came across like a little schoolgirl next to a grown woman.
Yeah. And again, what happened to when you used to have that interview like that, and then the person would leave to go find the other person? What happened? Can you at least give me that? Like, give me something, man.
And I keep going back to the fact you're in an exotic place for a lot of people. You're in Italy. Can you not take the cameras outside with some of this talent and get something? It doesn't all have to be in the back. It can be actually outside the freaking building.
Yeah.
Yes, they're in Italy, so get it on camera. Have somebody go out and do something in the town or in the country or something. I don't get that at all.
I don't either. I mean, in the old days, back in the Attitude Era, if you were there, you would have APA go to a bar somewhere and have drinks, at a local pub or something. It would have been something different.
Yeah.
Vince, like they say, thumping you up.
Yes.
Thumping you definitely up. I used to leave Memphis every week by the back door, and there was a woman. She worked at the souvenir table, the gimmick table, and she'd always stand by the door. And when you'd leave, she said, "Dut, thump it up, thump it definitely up." I said, "Yeah, gotta watch it now." And she was there. She was there every week. Thump me up.
Mac, I was just watching because I review the Attitude Era show like every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I was just watching. Vince was going into the St. Valentine's Day Massacre with Austin. And the gimmick was that if Austin touched Vince before the match, like he'd be stripped of the title or something. So Vince was doing everything to try to get Austin, to do something to him. So there was a scene where Vince, Briscoe, and Patterson actually went to Austin's hometown of Victoria, Texas. Mac, we went to Victoria, Texas. Okay, we didn't go to a cowboy bar in Stanford. We went to Victoria, Texas, and we got a lot of Austin's friends to be extras in those videos. But like I said, like you said and Doug said, they don't, and anything that takes work, they just don't want to do.
Well, that was going to be my next question was, why is that not happening now? What is it is it just because it's pure laziness, not wanting to leave the building, time constraints, or what? Because, look, I'd rather see stuff outside the building. Part of the part of wrestling I enjoy is when you see something that's not in the ring. It's not in the building. It's a story that's outside, whether it's the hometown of your hero or whether it's, your villain doing something you didn't think you'd ever see. You can do it outside the building. Go ahead, Doug.
Vince, you remember the things you guys used to do, like it was outside. Who was it that was Brian Pillman was coming to the show?
Yeah.
And him and Austin was having it out, and then Austin was waiting for him. I forgot what it was. And they would be like, in a 2-hour show, they'd be like four little segments.
Yep.
But that kept you tuned in to the show.
Yep.
And I took that, I took that very same example to Puerto Rico and did it. And hell, I got hooked on it. I'd be watching the show back and said, I wonder what happened.
Dutch, how many times, and I swear to God, I wish I could have a conversation with Triple H just to ask him these questions. Dutch, how many times do they have the top stars, like just say CM Punk and Roman Reigns? Dutch, how many times do they have them in the first segment and then they're done with the rest of the show?
Oh, yeah.
Why would you do that? If you're tuning in to see Roman Reigns and CM Punk and you know they're in the first segment and then they're done, why am I going to hang around? Correct. Why would anybody book that way, man?
I mean, I have watched a bunch of bookers along the way. Some of them were good, and some of them were like this show tonight. They were just all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's what I got to say about the show. They worked hard. They worked as hard as they could. But, I think whoever laid this show out tonight, I don't know who did it, but they either got lost or confused. They didn't do a job. They didn't do a bad job on purpose. It just didn't turn out right.
Yep.
So, I mean, nobody does a bad job on purpose, but
Cliffside 499 is asking, do you have any fun or interesting production meeting stories from your days as writers or producers? Vince?
Bro, my favorite story of all time, man. Hulk used to come to the creative meetings at TNA. Okay. So Hulk used to sit in. So everybody's, around the table. I remember I was there and Pat Kenny and Al Snow and Bubba and probably Disco, but a whole bunch of people were in the production meeting, right? So we're talking about Jeff Hardy, right? And we're talking about his match. And all of a sudden, Hulk's eyes light up. And Hulk says, yeah. And then he'll go to the top rope and he'll hit him with that wonton bomb. Bro, I swear to God, everyone at that table was like, everybody's face was beat red because they didn't want to laugh in Hogan's face, bro. And I'll never forget that as long as I live. The wonton bomb, bro.
Dutch, what about you? Any production story memories you can tell us?
Well, I always took a drink of whiskey with me in there, and they think I'd be doing water, and I'd reach down. I said, "Oh man, I'm so damn thirsty," and I take it. But a lot of those, I think when you come up with something, there's always somebody there to shoot it down.
Yeah, that's true. That's
you
true.
go around the table. I swear to God, this is the way it works.
That is true.
So you got 8 guys sitting around a table, and you have an idea. So you tell the guy next to you, dooba, and he tells the next guy, but nobody else hears it. By the time it goes all the way around the table, the whole thing has changed. Sometimes even the participants have changed, and it's not even the same thing you came out with first.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting watered down, changed, moved around, and the time it goes around. So if you have a good idea, don't tell everybody.
No.
I mean, tell who matters. But if you start telling everybody, it gets changed and it gets moved, and it gets diluted, and then it don't work. And who gets the blame? You do.
Anonymous 499. How is The Rock not going to be on these shows? He started the story. Him and Cody are the 2 leads. 1 minute they're friends, then enemies, then friends, etc.
That's to throw you off the hook.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you're sitting there and you're going, wait a minute. He did it last week. Well, this week they're talking. Yeah. Oh, so they might get back to, oh no, they're mad at each other again.
By the way, we had over 300 people in the room right now, guys. We appreciate you being here. If you want to be a part of the chat, we still have a few more minutes here. You can get in the super chats and we'll throw them up on the screen and answer your questions. We've been talking about SmackDown tonight off and on, but really your questions have been really good. And is there anything about the show, Vince, you want to get in before I get out?
Mac, here was another thing. We've got Liv and Jade. We have Naomi come out.
Yes.
Naomi's getting heat on Jade. Where's Bianca Belair? Is she hanging out with The Rock? I'm like, wait a minute. Who's missing from this story? Where was Bianca Belair in that story?
And she's the one that's going to WrestleMania.
How do you tell a story and one part of the whole story is missing?
That's what they were doing with Cody. It was the same problem with Cody. He was handling the whole story by himself forever, it seemed like.
I don't know.
Then we finally get him in.
This story has me, this whole thing tonight has me confused.
Yeah.
It really does.
I think whoever wrote it was confused. Go ahead, man.
I'm trying to look for something that I like. Like I said, I am looking forward to the Fantastic Four coming in. I think that could be good TV. The guy's on fire. The Human Torch.
Flame on.
Yeah, flame on. There you go. The stretchy guy, Robert Reed, the stretchy guy. I can't remember what his name was. Yeah, that could be good TV. The Fantastic Four is coming in. Yes.
That must have been when my internet went out. I missed all that. So I missed the good stuff.
Mac, I swear I'll never forget this as long as I live. Mac, do you remember Val Venus?
Yes.
And we did all those vignettes with Jenna Jameson, and he was starring in this film. Mac, I was in the arena when he debuted. They had never seen him before. They only saw the vignettes. Bro, when he came out, that place popped huge. How are these people supposed to pop over the Motor City Machine Gun vignettes, the number 4 vignettes, this guy doing this? That I swear to God, I am not bullshitting. I wish I could have a conversation with Hunter just to get some answers, because there's got to be a reason. There has to be a reason for this stuff.
Well, if you find out, let everybody else know, because I'm curious to find out myself. Good evening, fellows, from Traffic Jam. He's saying WWE tickets are high. No. And you're right. The ticket prices are way too high. And we were talking about that just earlier. Brian Adams was $5.
Let me ask you this before you go on.
Yeah.
If you go to WrestleMania and you have one of the highest seats in the whole stadium, what is that ticket?
This is probably a couple $100.
Really?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, it's more. What did you say? WrestleMania?
Yeah, at the nosebleeds.
Oh my! They're like $1,400,
even for a nosebleed.
Yes.
Wow.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that was going. They were in like the 300 section. It was $1,400.
Oh my God! And look here, and WrestleMania is not sold out. it still has tickets to sell. They have not sold out. I'm not surprised. Now, they've said that they're going to make more money than they've ever made before, but they're not selling out the stadium. So obviously the higher ticket prices and everything else is setting up the difference for the tickets they're not selling. Brian Adams, $5. Doesn't make sense, Cena to shit on the fans, just like when Rock joined the corporation in 98 and McMahon wanted Rock to shit on the fans. Russo said not to.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have made. Remember, Dutch, remember back in the day, this is one thing that used to drive me crazy. And Mac, you'll know this too. When somebody was a heel and they turned babyface, all of a sudden, everything about them changed and they were now kissing babies, which was so unrealistic. Vince tried to do that with The Rock. And I was in the room and like Rock kept looking at me and like he wanted to completely change Rock's character heel.
That'd kill him.
Absolutely, it would have killed him. And that's why we didn't do it, but that's what they've done with Cena.
Who was able to talk him down from doing that with just a group of people finally made Vince realize bad move.
Me and Rock.
Wow. All right, let's see what we got here. We got Golden Fox. I don't know, $449. What the hell is that? Shield were never a draw. When they became main eventers in 2015, that's when the ratings went down. Imagine going from 4.5 million to 1.6 million viewers.
Hey, Mac, you see the way Dutch is staring at that picture? You see, put that girl back up. Look at the way,
back up. Yeah,
look at the way Dutch is looking at it. Look.
Yeah, she's got a little Elvira in her too.
No, you know why I'm looking that way? Because I'm blind as a bat. What the hell?
So am I. Hang on for a minute. And you got to use both eyes because she's got two of them there.
What are the odds that really is the Golden Fox? What are the odds?
I kind of doubt it, seriously.
I'd say 1 billion to 1. 1 billion to 1. That's the Golden Fox. Yes.
Hey, look, before we get out of here, I'm thinking, if they're going to charge $25,000 to have lunch with John Cena, they can spend $25,000 and we can take them all over to Denny's in Las Vegas. As long as they pay for the room and board, man. You want to do that? Just let me know. We'll get you hooked up. So.
Did you see what they had to do though, Mac? They had to lower Hogan's prices. Did you see that?
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, Hogan was like $9,500 and nobody was buying tickets. They had to lower them to like $2,000.
Well, if he brings his own beer, the American beer will be okay. Dutch, you were about to say something.
No, I'm just saying $9,500.
Yeah.
My God.
Somebody was saying they're charging like $10,000 for like Lex and Triple H, bro. Lex does freaking conventions. He charges $100 for an autographed picture.
Yeah,
you're going to go there and pay $10,000?
Yep, because it was the last price I saw was $8,500, and that's not including your travel or anything else. That's just going there and getting that ticket at the Hall of Fame and having pictures made with Triple H and Luger and some kind of a special prize bag or something. Look here, if I'm spending that kind of money, there better be gold dust in that damn bag that you're handing me. It's going to have to make up for whatever kind of outrageous cost you're charging me. Let's see. Is there anything else we got in here? We got one more in here. Young Reckless, $1.99. Why not put the Wyatt 6 versus New Bloodline at WrestleMania 41?
Man, I don't even know if we're ever going to see Wyatt 6 again.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, is this 4 thing or whatever, is that maybe part of the Wyatts? Because, even Alexa Bliss, she's disappeared from TV now. She was there and now she's gone. And I don't know when we'll see her back again. I guess not until after WrestleMania or maybe at WrestleMania. But all right, guys, we are out of time and we're getting close to over 300 people moving with us the entire time, guys. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
make sure you join us again. Yeah,
300 people in here.
Yeah, 300 people live. Yeah,
oh, damn, that's good.
Yeah, so guys, we certainly appreciate that. Make sure you join us again next week. We do this every week, right after SmackDown goes off the air. We pop on the air and we talk about the night and anything else you want to talk about during that time. I'm your host, Mac Davis. That is the star of the show, Mr. Vince Russo, who is also the most hated man in professional wrestling, and of course, Dirty Dutch Mantell. We'll see you again next week.
We the people.
We the people. Hey, man.